All right, time to talk Sonia at Bryan Insurance Agency. Well, it's September, folks, the 21st day of the month, and September is National Preparedness Month. So for whatever disaster may be lurking out on the horizon, you better be prepared for it.
Yeah, when I saw that it was National Preparedness Month, I did a little bit of research, and it's kind of interesting the various types of disasters that people feel like they should be prepared for. I don't even know that there's been some television shows that where people take that to the extreme, and they have, whether it's food stocked up because they think there's going to be a zombie apocalypse, or to the more serious things that people do to prepare. But all joking aside, it is a good thing, and it's a good thing that there's being a spotlight on this, because there are some things we really do need to prepare for. And if you're interested in all the different types of things that the government is trying to bring to everybody's attention this month, just Google National Preparedness Month and you'll see all kinds of interesting information.
Now, should I be preparing for the zombie apocalypse, or maybe the day the computers decide to take over the world? Or, all these things that people dream up all the time, but there are some things out there that we really need to be preparing for.
Yeah, there really are. And we joke about the zombie apocalypse at our house a lot because we like television shows about zombies and that kind of stuff. And, we may be prepared.
Walkers.
Yeah, walkers. Yeah, everybody knows what show I'm talking about. But and our family are big fans, and we always joke we may have ammunition, but we might not have food for 2 days. So if you come to our house, we'll keep you safe, but you might want to bring a casserole. Of course, that's just a joke. We don't really think that's going to happen, do we, Rick?
Oh no.
So, but joking aside, in the number one, Rick, do you know what is the number one disaster in the United States?
Probably economics, something, or lightning.
No, you're wrong, but those are probably good. The number one disaster in the United States is flood.
Water.
Yes, flood is the number one disaster. It really happens. Of course, hurricane season is a problem for the coastal states, but the flooding from those hurricanes can occur 100 miles from the coast. And here we are in Graham, we've had floods here. And it's, I guess that's where that expression, when it rains, it pours, came from, because, a couple of years ago we went from a drought into a flooding situation within just a few weeks.
Well, the wild thing about floods and the wild thing about water rising, we are the lake country, and we do have a lot of lakes that do catch a lot of water. But the situation in Texas is, like we saw, almost 30, 40 years ago, we saw where we got 22 inches of rain just in no time, and the whole west side of the city was flooded. You look at Katrina. I'm sure that New Orleans never thought of something like that, a big disaster happening like that. You had Hurricane Andrew that blew through Florida a few years ago, caused billions of dollars worth of damage. I don't think they were really prepared. So the thing is, God-given disasters, nobody really knows when they're coming or what we're going to see.
Yeah, that's true. You don't want to wait until you find out on the news, or you look outside and see this storm coming up, or whatever it is. You don't want to wait until that time to try to rush around and do things. You need to have a plan. And I do want to throw some insurance in this, that flood insurance, anything to do with rising water, is typically not covered on your standard homeowners or business policy. So you need to talk to your agent about flood insurance, because, again, once the flood starts, it's too late to do that. So talk to them about that. But there's also some really good resources of things that you could do to prepare. If you just go on the internet, it's a really easy website to remember. It's www.floodsmart.gov. And there's all kinds of good stuff on there. Checklists for how to be prepared, family plans, disaster supply tips, evacuation tips, even pet plans. There's really good information on there. And it doesn't hurt to be prepared. I mean, the worst thing that happens is you prepare and then it never happens. At least, you don't have to worry about it. So,
some of the things are pretty simple about preparing for, like changing the batteries in your smoke alarm. I mean, that's pretty simple. Preparing for something like that, because you never know when that's going to happen either. We have hail and tornadoes and things like that. Having a place to take your vehicles, having a plan in case a storm comes your way. Those are things that are more apt to happen around our area. But the thing is, you got to have a plan before you get into a problem.
Yeah, you don't want to be in a panic situation, because then you're not thinking straight. Your family doesn't know what to do. It's not normally that. It seems like, of course, with Rick having to go, he usually is on the air when there's a disaster that happens. It normally doesn't happen when the whole family's sitting at home together. People are scattered, so your family needs to all know, if something happens, we need to check in. If we can't communicate with our phones, we need to meet here, that kind of thing, just so that you have a little bit of peace of mind. And then, when it happens, you'll kind of know what to do without having to panic over it.
If you do have a fire in your house or a flood that's coming your way or something like that, have you talked to your family about what to do in case of that? You don't want to be caught where your family's in a situation. So it doesn't hurt to sit down and just say, hey, kids, in case of a fire, you go this way, we'll go this way, we'll meet here at the tree out by the house, or whatever the case may be. Make sure you have plenty of batteries around the house. I mean, just some common sense things.
Yeah, and just, again, and it goes with what I say every week about insurance. Don't wait until after it's happened to wonder what type of insurance I have, or to wonder what should our family have done. Think about it ahead of time and plan, and that way you're not surprised.
Now, if you don't have flood insurance or the proper type of home insurance or things like that, get a hold of the folks at Bryan Insurance. And how they do that?
Well, you can call us 549-2525. You can come see us on the second floor of the Sierra Bank Building here in downtown Graham, or you can visit us on the web, www.bryanins.com.
So when the zombie apocalypse comes, be ready with Bryan Insurance Agency. And we have more coming up here on Q94.7. Stay tuned as we keep it rolling on this 8 o'clock hour.